What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers, and today I just wanted to quickly look at Louisiana-Pacific. This is a lumber company, symbol LPX, and just wanted to take a quick glance at the fundamentals here, because in my opinion, this is still tremendously undervalued. This is a one-year chart, and you see down here, this thing was at 17, sub 20 here. Look, March of 2020, right at COVID. And if you recall, during COVID, a lot of people were moving, people were leaving the cities, going out into the suburbs, buying their houses, working on their new homes, and obviously the price of all raw materials skyrocketed due to hyperinflation and, of course, increased demand. So here you have a stock that went from 17 and they took it up to almost $80 here with a 52-week high, 79.77. Now this little dip right here is about 55, and as you see recently it pulled back to 54 and it's sitting here a little below 55. So in my opinion, it came here almost forming like a long-term double bottom, and in my opinion it's probably going to U-turn and go even higher, back up to 80, 90, possibly even $100 a share. I mean, I'm seeing a PE of 3 and market cap of a little under $4.5 billion. And that's what they did last year in revenue, $4.5 billion, almost 30% earnings off of that total revenue, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at. In my opinion, the reason why they're possibly beating this up short term is because the last couple of quarters, as you can see, it's been like slight decreases quarter over quarter. But at the end of the day, I mean, people still need lumber to work on their homes. Anyone who's going to build a new home or currently working on their house right now. And again, with hyperinflation, these prices are only going to continue to go up. This is a one-year chart, obviously a little rocky, but again, you know, it was up to 200 to 300% during about that 18-month run right after COVID when prices started to go nuts. You go back here, August of last year, beautiful beat here on top and bottom lines. Same thing here in November. Same thing here in February of this year. And now we come here in May of this year. And basically, they just keep beating earnings. I think they have a good management team over there. And when you look at these numbers, you know, you probably don't even need to really break it down. You know, I look at this total revenue, almost double from where it was 1 or 2 years ago. I mean, definitely nothing to sneeze at. Cost of revenue only went up slightly, with gross profit absolutely exploding from what it used to be. Operating expenses are slightly up, but look at the operating income now on the table. I mean, if we check a lot of these numbers here, total liabilities only went up slightly, but assets are moving up. I mean, everything is looking good, in my opinion, on a company like LPX. And now, again, I know we all think short term, well, most of us do anyway. A lot of people are thinking short term, and people want to know, all right, you know, should I jump in? You know, where's it going to be in a week or two? Remember, a lot of these companies that I bring to your attention here on this channel, it's not just about the short-term trades. I mean, you know, is it undervalued? Can it get up to, you know, 60, north of 60 inside of the next couple of weeks where you can make a quick flip or possibly jump in and buy some calls? Absolutely. Absolutely you can do that, more than possible. But again, long-term, there's a one-year chart we're looking at, the way it's been a little rocky, but look at how high it was. And it has come down and like made this little support level over here at like $54, $55, which is exactly where it is now. So, you know, in the short term, I mean, it could stay rocky if they keep beating it up, especially with the materials companies. I was going to make another video on a U.S. Steel is another company that I think is undervalued right now if you just look at the numbers. But again, look at this absolute rise after COVID. Because it's like all of a sudden people realize that this was like a small cap lumber company that was just reaping the profits and all the rewards of everything that happened with COVID and all the people moving and buying new homes. So the smaller cap companies, they bring up even more than the larger cap companies. I mean, even if you look over at Weyerhaeuser, which I know a lot of people will say is a lot. See, it's $25 billion company, and this is a 5-year chart. Look, it was down at 17, and they brought it up to 40, right? Definitely nothing to sneeze at, but what? That's like 130, 140% return, and then you come back here to LPX, I mean, 17 to 78. I mean, you're talking about a 400-500% jump here, and reason because it's a smaller company. And also, in my opinion, if you look here, look at how flat it was for like 2 years before we even went into COVID, just keeping it like in the 20s, below 30, not letting it break out, and then all of a sudden it's worth 80. So, these are the types of investments that I try to bring to the channel. Because if you can catch these companies flying underneath the radar and they have good fundamentals and they're backing it up quarter over quarter with these good beats and these healthy earnings, over time, these are the companies that are going to explode. And, again, I apologize. I only started the channel recently, but, around COVID time, I actually jumped in and I was buying like long-term, speculative, out-of-the-money naked calls on companies like LPX and US Steel, just because I knew they were going to go up. I knew the demand for materials were going to be higher. I knew they were undervalued according to the numbers, and it was only a matter of time. So, again, short term could stay a little volatile. Long term, in my opinion, I'm not seeing anything right now that should make this company go lower than where it is. And more importantly, in the long term, I think it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, this is a max chart, and just look at the way they actually finally gave this stock some attention and had it explode in the last couple of years. And I really feel, in my opinion, that it's not going to stop. I think it should keep going higher. And, they brought it up to almost 80, and it was still undervalued at 80. So even from this $50 level, long term, if you give this a couple of years, because prices obviously are going to keep going up. As we all know, prices only go up. They never go down. And with expenses going higher, I think, in my opinion, more and more people are just going to be leaving these larger cities. And they're going to be moving out to these smaller towns where everything's a little bit more expensive. Or, now they can rent a home instead of a small apartment. Or they could potentially buy a home instead of living in a small apartment. And then you're going to have work to do inside, outside, on your porches, your patios, your living rooms, and dining rooms and whatnot. So long term, I want everyone to keep an eye on this Louisiana-Pacific LPX. Excellent fundamentals here. And long term, you give this 24 to 36 months, there's not a doubt in my mind. I mean, I don't even want to say a double because I think that's being conservative. I think you might see a triple here. I think we're looking at a $150 stock. That would put a market cap of about $13.5 billion, which over time, if they keep growing their revenue, you're going to be looking at right about 2.5 times total revenue. And as we always say on this channel, that's going to put it right in line conservatively with where it would be in the private sector, but it's in the public sector. So technically, it could even go higher. But just something I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. Very undervalued company, in my opinion. Louisiana-Pacific, LPX, lumber company. Keep an eye on it. Once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. Moving forward, I hope everyone is successful. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars here in this market. I have my personal Discord in the description if you guys want to stop in, talk about LPX, or you want to talk about something else. And like everyone on YouTube says, throw the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content I'm putting out, or comment down below if you don't like the content I'm putting out, and perhaps I can change something up to better satisfy your needs. But again, thanks for stopping by, and have a good day.